See you later, bud. Have fun with your new girlfriends.
Welcome back to Little Troyer Farm. As you can see, it is still winter. I don't know if anybody's like sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for spring, but guys, spring is still quite a ways off. So if you are new here, welcome. I try to share realistic life as we have horses and we raise goats, and I don't know, sometimes you just need a real side of the internet. I don't really mince words. I try not to beat around the bush, and I try my best not to hide life as it happens. I would rather share with you guys realistic life on a small farm in northern British Columbia. And so today's agenda was to get a new bale for the horses set up so that I could continue pitching them hay across the fence. We do this because we had a drought this past year. Hay was fairly scarce and hard to come by, and this enables us to be able to ration the hay that we feed so that they don't overeat and get obese and fat, and it just helps us to keep them from eating more than they actually need. It's a lot of extra work, but we have to do it this year. If we ever have a year where hay is more abundant, I would love to be able to set up like a slow feeder systems for the horses, but that's just not possible this year because, like I said, hay was so hard to find. So these 3 bales that are sitting out, we got as replacements for 3 moldy alfalfa hay bales that we received from a farmer. At $195 a bale, I was appalled at how moldy it was.
So I wasn't really recording. I'm just trying to get some stuff done quick, but I don't know. I want to show you guys the reality of this mess that I'm dealing with right now.
Feeding moldy hay to animals, I mean horses and goats for sure, can cause all sorts of health issues. So you can see the plumes of what looks like smoke coming off this side of the bale. Trust me, it only gets worse. However, earlier in the fall, when we got all like the 2 loads of hay from this farmer, a few of them were good, and then I would get into a bale and I was like, this is not even edible. Like, I can't even feed this to my goats. It was so raunchy. And like I mentioned, it was $195 delivered for these round hay bales, which is an incredibly high price considering we used to get the exact same bales, if not even bigger round bales, for only $75. Prices have more than doubled. It is insanity. So when you are getting what you think you're paying, a premium for, and you think you're getting premium hay, and you end up digging into bales that are rotten, raunchy, and moldy that you can't even feed to your livestock, it feels like a sucker punch to the gut. I learned this fall that if you feed moldy hay to goats, you can actually cause them to get listeriosis, which can cause death. And it doesn't show up immediately. It can be like 10 to 14 days later that they start exhibiting symptoms, and you need to act fast with a high dose of antibiotics from your vet, so hopefully they don't die.
Like, some of it on this side is beautiful. Look at this. We've got some nice alfalfa color, some nice timothy, lots and lots of greenery, not really much for dust, very, very green. And then the other side of the bale is just atrocious. And we got a big moldy spot here that I've been trying to work out, but like, I'm sick of this. I was hoping for the best with these new bales, but it's just, I don't know what to say. I can't pay a premium for hay and have it be inconsistent. I can't open up one bale and have it be phenomenal and then open up the very next day and have it be moldy. I can't do it. Right? Like, I was just peeling off the weathered stuff. Like, this is just normal weathered stuff. It's not that thick, and the inside of it is nice and green and tender and colorful. And then like within the same rounds. Actually, no, that's probably a little bit deeper into it. So like here we've got kind of some little bit of nasty stuff. Here we've got a big chunk of mold that I was trying to chip through. And like, don't get me wrong, like my husband and I, we grew up raising cows. And so we've been around the hay biz. My husband put up hay for, I don't even know how many of his teenage years. And so like, he's seen it boots on the ground to hay in the feeder for cows. And this is, like, that's unacceptable. It's not edible. If I throw that in a feeder and the goats stuff their heads in, point in case here, this is the good hay, but they stuff their head way in there to find the best of that hay, and they choke and they cough and they ingest all of that dust into their lungs. Bambi, I feel like you're trying to tell me something and you're making me nervous. Like, you know, to be this far into a bale, so right, remember this stretch all looks half decent, looks pretty good, but then it's like it hits a certain point, like here to about a third of the way around the bale, where you just creep into it and it's all this, like how far does it go? Right? And I showed my husband that video of the, you know, the plumes of dust coming up, and he's like, whether that's dust or that's mold is a big difference, right? But hear me out. If it were dust, it would be through the whole bale, because the rakes come and rake the mowed hay into a swath, and then the baler comes behind and bales it. And so the rake pushes it together, and then the baler sweeps it up and tightly wraps it into a round bale, hence the round bale. And if it was just dust everywhere, look, like the dog's digging into it. Look at that. And she's sneezing like crazy digging into it. She's just trying to find a bed. That's not the best bed. What are you doing? You goof. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Am I crazy? Or should I be allowed to want good quality hay? Guys, your food comes in a bag, or it comes in a block of raw meat. So you guys get the good stuff. But finding hay for goats is tricky business. Right? Like, I mean, this was the hay from the last bale. So much of this beautiful, hold on, is it going to focus? Focus. This is beautiful alfalfa fines. And this is how tender this hay is. Nice and green. Lots of leaf in there. Why is my phone not it's not focusing very good. Right? It's beautiful, beautiful hay. And that's from the exact same people that we bought that bale from. Bambi, we're going to take a look at you. Can we take a look at you? Let's try this again. Maybe my camera was just dirty. I don't know if that helps at all, but there you go. Nice, beautiful hay. All right, you big buffoons. Let's do some udder checks quick. Okay, look, so I cleaned up this area. I've got to deal with this styrofoam. Just kidding. Insulation. This whole area now has become a junkyard. I'm so mad. You, my dear, she's kind of walking back and forth between the feeders. I noticed today that her udder, I could see it went like from the side, depending how she was standing. See, you can see that udder starting to drop there. She's not really interested in eating. She's been walking from this feeder to that one to back and not really doing a ton of eating. Isn't that right? So last kidding season, she kidded on this day, the equivalent of this day in her gestation. So 138 days. She's not due until the 21st. Today is the 14th. And she's, Yeah, she's carrying a big load. I've been checking her ligaments pretty faithfully. They're softer than they were this morning. You need a copper bolus. See this balding tail? She needs a copper bolus. I think I should just do everybody. But they're getting awfully squishy. My guess would be by tomorrow or the next day that those ligaments are going to be gone. Hey, honey. You just kind of look a little bit uncomfortable. Kind of starting to hold her tail maybe a little bit weird. But I hope I'm not reading into things too much, right? So she doesn't really have a balding nose. She's not balding around the eyes, which is why that would tell me it's a copper thing more so than the zinc thing. I might be wrong on that. I have to double check my facts, right? Okay, I just want to look at your udder. Ooh, honey. We're starting to get a little bit bulgy. Come on, I want to take a real look. Okay, you go look at some hay. Woohoo! I don't think that tonight's the night. But if that udder pops, we're going to be finding a stall for you, I think. Look at you. Yes. So I have some alfalfas in my teeth. I have some alfalfas in my teeth. I already ate my food, and that's why I'm not eating anymore. Is that my being silly? Okay, sorry, udder checks. Rebel's not due till February. Her, and I'm going to use real terminology here, so mute it if you don't want kids to hear. Her vulva is looking kind of red and angry because unfortunately her last kidding she tore with a big single, and so she has some trauma there a little bit. So I'm not entirely sure how I never even really thought about it when I bred her again, but I hope she's gonna be okay. She's definitely not carrying a single, so that's good. Robin's also not due until February, so she's due the 6th of February and the 9th of February. And then Miss Reba, she's filling, but she's got a ways to go. Why is this so blurry? Is that better? I don't know, I'm switching to pro video. Maybe it'll be better, maybe not. So she is going to like balloon and explode that udder. It's going to be tight. She has been dropped for a while now. Those kids are sitting awfully low. You can see how sunken in she is at the hip. She gets cranky about me checking her ligaments, but her ligaments are still pretty tight. I don't need to bother checking you yet, Miss Bambi. She's probably just going to follow me around like a puppy dog. 2 more days until we are for sure what's happening with Daisy. Rose isn't due till the 27th. Oh, we're having a pee. Thank you. Let's go keep checking around. Let's see. Willow. Oh my goodness. You had better be pregnant. Ay, ay, ay. Making me nervous. So she's due the day after Reba and Bambi, the 22nd. And then Winnie's the other one. No, she's due the 24th. Just kidding, I lied. Winnie's the one that is due the day after, if she's pregnant. She's got nice chunky teats, but nothing else really happening. Oh, girls. Oh, girls. Stressing me out. Maybe you'll just pop at the last second, right? Because she's a first freshener. And then we've got Sage over here. Check out that beautiful, cute little udder happening. She's also a first freshener, so that's gonna hopefully get bigger yet. Oh, Bambi, don't stress me out, okay? Okay. Oh, honey. Give me a pretty wide load. Yeah, I don't know. You might got a few more days in you yet. But you're definitely starting to get some udder changes happening from yesterday. Okay, we'll leave them alone for now. Sorry for the frustratedness with the hay, but that's kind of part of life, unfortunately. You got some passing wind or what? Huh? What's going on? Just need some more face scratches. You're going to be the one that we're going to watch close because you're probably going to be the one that has babies first. Without much doubt there. Hey, Rebel. Let's go check to see if we have any surprise babies overnight. You know it's been a warm night when shall we check you? Oh, we still have ligaments. Looks good. Good girl. Oh, big stretch. Oh, let's just check your udder quick. Can you walk? There you go. Probably no babies today. The ligaments are definitely still there, so I'm not that concerned. Reba. She's like, I'm trying to poop. Leave me alone. Hi? Oh, are you getting friendly? Well, no babies yet, which is a relief in all honesty. Just fed the horses before my hubby goes to work, and then get some housework done this morning probably. Well, I am going to do some copper bolusing because the more I have... Oh good, we still got ligaments. I was just checking Bambi quick. The more I've been researching copper bolusing and looking at my goats, I'm realizing that they have worse fish tails or like worse balding tips of their tails than I thought. And then some of them do have the balding noses, which could be zinc or copper, but it's probably safer to bet that we've got some copper deficiency as well. And so I'm going to give them some copper boluses. But I also wanted to mention that there are copper antagonists, so different things that can leach copper out of your goat's system and make it harder for them to stay on top of having enough copper in their system. One of which is sulfur, another is iron, and another is calcium. And another, I'm going to totally butcher this pronunciation, but molybdenum. Let me look at it again. Molybdenum. I've never even heard of this before. Those things can leach the copper out of their body. And another thing that I've been learning is that well water oftentimes can be higher in calcium and sulfur or iron. And that will also leach those minerals out of your goat's systems. And so we could have... Are you in heat or are you just pooping? Because that would be about right. I don't know what's happening. Maybe we need to walk her to the bucks. She was wagging her tail, but I was like, oh, maybe she was just pooping. But then she was making buck sounds. So I don't know what's happening here. Anyways, so iron, sulfur, calcium, and molybdenum can leach the copper out of your goats' bodies, making them copper deficient. Well water is often high in some of those minerals. And so getting your well water tested, if you're having issues with your goats, or really animals in general, would be smart. So I'm actually going to try to track down somebody in local that I can send a water sample to get our well water tested, just to see the mineral makeup of it. And I'm pretty certain that we have high calcium, and probably for sure high calcium. We'll see what else. Anyways, so the goats that have received copper so far, I gave... Why are you wheezing like that? That didn't sound good. She's got the worst kind of balding face. I gave Dottie. Wow. I gave Daisy a copper bolus. She does not have balding around the eyes or the bridge of the nose, and not really balding on the tail. I would have to look a little bit closer. Excuse me. Let me come look. Whee! Let me look at your tail. So it's not too bad, but a little bit, right? You got that one long spike and then the rest of it's shorter. Anyways, I gave her a copper bolus a week ago, I think. And then I gave Bambi a copper bolus last night because I was looking at her tail when I was checking her ligaments, and I was like, oh my goodness, yeah, she definitely is the balding tip of the tail. And maybe, like, with her coloring, I wouldn't say she's rusty colored. She's got very nice healthy hair, but she's got a little bit of hair loss on the bridge of her nose. These Nubians, I feel like they just don't do as well with the cold. I know that she frostbit her nose last winter, and so there's that. But if we look at her tail, if she'll let us, it doesn't look too bad. But I'm thinking that I might just copper bolus all of them anyways. Robin definitely needs a copper bolus. So some of the signs can be like you have a black goat, but they're looking rust colored. They don't have that natural color in them, where you could have like a cream colored goat turn white, a red colored goat turn, I can't remember what the yellow, golden, I think. And so like even Miss Reba here, I don't really love the condition of her tail, and she's quite bald on the front. Oh, you're so big and pregnant, I'm sorry. And her coat's not as healthy as I would like to see it either. Got just a bit of a duller coat. The other thing is that fertility problems, and past that we can also have oh, what's happening here? You can have abortions in your goats, so like they don't carry to term. And what else? Let me think for a second. They can also have an inability to fight internal parasites. So because Daisy's so much smaller, I mean, this is Willow, her littermate sister, born the exact same day from the same mama and same dada, and she is about 45 pounds smaller, significantly shorter, and a lot thinner. So you can like see her hip bones here, and I mean you can see Willow's too, and she's kind of got a bit of this woolly undercoat happening too, which is why I'm like, yeah, some copper bolus is probably a good idea, right? But like, she didn't get pregnant. I'm waiting confirmation for that probably tomorrow, either end of today or tomorrow, and we will see if it's fertility problems with copper deficiencies or what is happening there. The rest of you guys, I don't know, other than the balding noses, sheeny coatness looks okay. Are you in heat? I bet you anything that you're in heat right now and you're just not pregnant at all. Right? So that's kind of where it sits with the copper. Should get our well water tested. And you can't test them like their copper levels, I think, when they're alive. I don't think you can do that. It's like a liver amount that you have to check, and you have to do that after they've been deceased. And so that'd be like if you had an animal, like a goat, die, and then you did a necropsy and had things tested to make sure that you have covered all your bases and you know what is wrong. Woo, we've got a whale in here. You hear the grunting? She's like, you're interrupting me. I can hear them on the camera inside when they all go lay down in there. They're all just a whole bunch of grunty ladies because you're all kind of chubby and pregnant. All right, she's not overly thrilled about this idea, but we're gonna go say hi to the boys and practice our leading a little bit. I know. Not very happy about this idea. Just letting them have a little sniff-see. I know, we miss you ladies. No flagging, and her tail's pretty much clamped down when she's next to him, so I would say not. Oh, look at those fighting ears. No? Are you pregnant after all? She's the one I'm like, I don't know, guys. He's also just gonna harass her, which is why I would not leave a pregnant doe in with him. Grant, if she's not actually gonna heat, leave her alone. Oh, poor Winnie. Hey, Denny. Come on. She's not very receptive, so I would say that's a no. Grant, you are wishful thinking there, mister. Usually they'll flag, that tail will be switching back and forth. So I just discovered that all of the goats, the Nubians anyways, have a lump where I injected that vaccine. Yeah, so does Rose. Let's see if we can see this one better. Yeah, you can feel it, like right behind where I put that vaccine. No, don't jump on her back. But the dwarfs don't have it, so that's very confusing. I did learn after I did the vaccination that the behind the ear thing is only specific for the sheep. So for the goats, I could have just done it sub-Q behind their shoulder, like how I gave them their wormer. But now I kind of feel stinky because they all have these lumps, which, like at the injection site, which I used a brand new needle each time. So I don't think there's a risk that way. But maybe it was a reaction to the vaccine itself, and it'll just clear up on its own. The joys, I tell ya. Hey, Miss Rosie. So Rose, stay over there. Rose is a bigger goat. There's weight stuff. I've got 4 gram and 2 gram copper boluses. The 4 grams are really nice because they actually stay in there. The 2 grams just fall out of the capsule. And she's gonna hate me for this, but I'm gonna shove this in her throat. There. Now she's good. She swallowed it. She's done. And we're gonna do the rest just like that. Willow. I don't have as many 4 gram as I do the 2 gram, so I will have to double up on some of them.
The colors?
What?
Colors?
What color?
That color.
They're green.
Green.
Yeah, and they shake because there's little copper cap things in there. Okay, so for Willow, let's see if we can put 2 in there at the same time. Come here, Miss Girl. Yep, there's a way. Sorry, kink your neck back. Here. No, stay here. I know, it's the tame ones that are the hardest. Stay here. Willow. Come here. Come here. Did you get it? Did we get it? Are we good? She's gonna be mad at me now forever. Winnie's hiding from me because I took her to see the boys. Oh. Gotta be fast.
Mama's videoing.
Hey, you good? Yeah?
I think she's gonna hate you.
Hey, Robin. I know I have no treats for you, but I still need to do this. Got it? Good girl! Yay! Good girl!
Was that the last one?
Nope.
Eva!
There you go. Big buckaroo. I know. Open up. Got it? Good girl.
No, Bambi.
Nope, Bambi already had one. Hey! Come here, Sage! Come here! Reba's now scared of me. Come here. Nope, honey, you're not helping.
Mom?
No. What?
I just want to wash you.
Oof.
How about Rebel?
Now she's the last one. Goodness. So scared of me now. Alright, Daisy May. Come here, Rebel. Come on. Here you go. Relax. Alright, done. Alright, everybody's looking at me like, you were the worst in the world. Alright, all done. They had some grain. That's what they're all fighting over at the moment. Just gave them a little bit. We're very, very wary again. This doesn't feel very nice having a tube shoved in the back of your throat. It's metal and cold, but hopefully that's what they needed. Isn't that right? You can fix your nose. Yeah, your poor lips look sore, honey. Need to do some more research on that. I keep thinking like, oh no, what if it's ORF? But I really don't think so, because then every single goat would have it and they would be incredibly sore. I don't know. I'll look into it again, but I really doubt that's it. I think it's mineral and copper and zinc issues is what I think. You're so sweet. I decided to look quick again at what ORF is in goats, and it's not. It's not ORF. ORF, go Google ORF in goats and you will see.